Hello, welcome back to another software demo video. I know what you're thinking. Last week, you said that the next software demo would be in 2 weeks, which is like 1 week from now. I thought so, but hear me out. This is a slightly different software project because I spent about three and a half hours on it instead of 2 weeks. So it's much smaller in scope, but it's still pretty cool. I wanted to show you guys what's up. So for this project, I made a Yahtzee trademark scorecard. So what this app does is it behaves as a Yahtzee scorecard. And so, like, it has all these fields, as you can see. We'll zoom in a little bit. And how it works is I have all these text fields. Actually, they're special text fields that only accept numbers. So if I press something like T, J, U, M, or whatever, then nothing happens. But if I press like 5, then something does happen. Of course, if you got 5 in the ones column, in fact, that would just be a Yahtzee, and so that was a silly thing to put there. And as you can see, you've got total score, bonus, upper total, lower section, lower total, upper total, grand total, all this stuff. And this is just based off of the regular Yahtzee scorecard, with the exception that there's no space for multiple games. So now it's time to do a brief demonstration. I'm going to quickly ad-libs in some values. Let's say you got a 4 in your ones, and as soon as I click away, then notice that some stuff updates. We've got total score and upper total updating, and upper total down here updates as well. So the bonus here is still 0 because I haven't accumulated over 62 points. If, however, I were to change this, don't do this if you're playing an actual game, by the way, that's cheating. If I change this to here and then click away, then it updates to 35 because that's the bonus number, and your upper total will be added to that here as well as here. And then you got no Yahtzee bonuses and no large straightens. So these are your upper and lowers, and then you click on the grand total text here, ba-ding, and it will update to 255, which incidentally is the maximum value that you can store using 2 hexadecimal digits. Very cool, very cool. Not like I planned that or anything. But this Yahtzee bonus, you will notice, is not in line with these other tables. And the reason for that is it is a separate entity. It's a little bit different. So let's say you got 2 Yahtzee bonuses because you were insanely lucky. If we add that and click away, then the score updates by 200 because getting extra Yahtzees is busted. And then you just click this again to update it. 455. What a score. Absolutely legendary. Amazing round. Good thing it didn't happen, because if I was playing in a game where that happened, I would rage. So now let's take a brief look at the code. This is code only in name. This is HTML, hypertext markup language. It's full of all these tables and divs and classes and stuff that I use to structure it. CSS makes it look nice. And script.js, this is where the magic happens. I have a bunch of functions, and I have these upper input listeners and lower input listeners, and what they do is they as the document is just there, nothing really happens, but in the background this JavaScript is like waiting, like a tiger or something. And then when you change the value on one of the input boxes, then they pounce, or they call this function, total upper section for the uppers and total lower section for the lowers. And then what the upper section does is that it goes through all these text boxes, it totals up all this stuff and pastes it here, and it does a quick check to see if you scored over 62, 63 or higher, then it will add the bonus 35. And then same as for the lower, except it totals up the lowers. And then, because I thought it would be really dramatic if like the grand total wasn't there all the time, but you had to make something, you had to click on something to make it happen, Then I added an event listener that listens for when you click on the text. And yeah, and then the Yahtzee bonus is calculated separately, but it still has an event listener on it. And then the compute grand total just totals the upper and lowers and smashes them together, spits it out onto this text here. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is that I did something which I could be biased, but I think it's pretty cool with CSS. I have the different colors and whatnot, but then over here there's this thing, I don't really know what it is, but it's like @media prefers color scheme dark. And I learned about it. You can set your device, you can have a dark mode for your website. I didn't know that's how you did it, but now I do, and I think it's just incredibly cool. Everything looks better in dark mode. So if I go to my settings on my browser, which you can't see, and I click dark instead, boom. Suddenly all the colors change, and now it is an incredibly cool dark mode. But yeah, that is the Yahtzee scorecard app. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be back next week with another software project.